You purchased today in a roadside diner.
Scully, shut your...
Hey guys, we are nice. I'm Ray.
I'm Julien.
And I'm Gerard.
Guys, we saw an episode of the X-Files about 2 weeks ago. I want to say maybe 3 weeks at this point.
You guys, yeah.
And I've never seen X-Files. I knew about X-Files. It was a show that came out in the 90s. It was considered one of it was
Drama.
It was the biggest thing at the time, I think, at least on Fox, at least when I was growing up, right? It was a huge show. I know people who were diehard about it, but I've never seen it, you know? So we did a blind reaction. We had nothing to watch really at the same time, or things happened. We just went crazy and just picked something at random, and it turned out to be some more hit, and we loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. That was a great episode, the very first one.
Our reaction was fantastic.
Think of sci-fi meets the FBI, right? So I don't want to tell you any more than that.
Okay.
We'll go right to it.
Okay. Let's see how close you get to that.
Yeah,
let's see how close you get to that.
We loved it, so I'm almost sure you're gonna like it. So you guys ready for this?
Let's go for it.
This is season 1, episode 2, The X-Files, Deep Throat. Let's do this. Shut up.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
That dude's fingers looks really short.
They probably could have kicked that door down.
Honestly, facts.
You know, if he's commandeering a military vehicle, would he really be inside a house?
Is that what he's doing?
I thought that's what he said.
Or something.
Oh. Those are burns.
It's like first degree.
That's like radiation.
Like, yeah, kind of.
Like what I've seen before for radiation. I'm sure you heard it before, haven't you?
Yeah.
All right, that looks good. Good start right off the bat.
So it's like you didn't even get a break.
Those are like radiation burns. Am I crazy?
No, it did. It did look like radiation burns.
I hold the power. Oh, that's a Johnny Walker right there.
Seth Green's in this episode? Hey, yo.
It did say that, didn't it?
That's the suits.
He looks so familiar.
Well, he's keeping an eye on them.
Robert Budahouse.
How?
With how the conditions of this dude?
No, but that could have been radiation. That could have been like, you know,
Yeah, but like from
if they're
what?
using a nuclear weapon, a nuclear drive on a ship, on a
Experimental
on a
aircraft?
flying. Are these guys flying saucers? Maybe.
That'd be wild.
Oh, like that guy can manhandle him, you know.
Seriously.
And like, yeah.
He saw a ghost.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I would have thought that the military would have been like, they can't say no to the FBI. Like no one can say no to the FBI for the most part. I mean, if they get in there with enough, I guess. What did I say?
Mecca for UFO sightings. That airbase that's in...
So maybe I'm right. Maybe they are flying UFOs.
Maybe.
If they're test pilots.
Nice catch, though.
They are keeping an eye on them tight.
Nice catch.
Whatever this is major.
Times. Please let me know what you find out.
She got 2 little ones, bro. That sucks.
So what did you make of Uncle Fester down the block?
It's called stereotypy. It's a syndrome produced planes. Maybe these guys are the washouts.
You saw the photos on the wall in there.
The
Guy
washouts?
Budahouse received a presidential commendation. He's never washed out of anything in his life.
And they're physically damaged. Well, the other last one was mentally.
I think you're right about the radiation.
Are they
I think
being
so.
pushed to their...
No, I think they're flying a new aircraft or experimental aircraft that's giving them. I mean, it could be alien, maybe any technology they're flying. Right, we saw alien. Well, if it's okay, this is what I'm thinking. It could be a new type of aircraft that recreated that's new, and maybe the radiation they're just touching it out, and the people are thinking, "Oh, these are UFOs," or it could be UFO technology that we have in our hands. And it being the X-Files, I'm gonna say that's what it is.
But if I wanted to talk to one of those UFO nuts that you referred to earlier, where would I go?
How to give a man a complex.
Jeez, that's a lot. It happens quite often.
Where?
Out on the back porch. Taking out the garbage. And there it was.
Again, it may not be UFOs.
Put it on my tab.
Sucker.
What would be the chances of someone like me?
You get them all the pictures?
From the information she provided.
And the pictures on the wall as well. It's like, dude, they're about to get shot if they go in the wrong place. This is an old ass car, bro. I haven't seen one of these cars in forever. They've been noticed. There's no way they're up in a gate there and then not being like noticed they're there. The car.
I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares.
Hey!
What did they
Were those
see
some kids?
inside?
How unlucky do they gotta be?
Bro, I know they're running for their life. Their heart is like in their throat right now.
Exactly like that. Thanks.
Later, dude.
Seth is tiny. Oh my god.
Hey, bro, if it's two people, that's all that matters.
That was like 2'2" right there, bro.
Kids today, huh?
You believe it all, don't you?
Why wouldn't I?
She's very dismissive, isn't she?
Didn't she just saw something?
Yeah, she saw something.
What?
Mulder, you could have shown that kid a picture of a flying hamburger and he would have told you that's exactly what he saw.
All right, I want to show you something.
Then what did you see? You saw something. You saw these lights.
It's supposedly one of the 6 sites where parts from the wreckage were shipped.
Mulder, are you suggesting that the military is flying UFOs?
No.
You guys called it. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys called it, guys. Nice catch.
No, that was him. He totally called that. I thought it was radiation based.
I mean, it could still be radiation based.
Oh, true.
You purchased today in a roadside diner.
Scully, shut your dumb mouth up.
Hater.
Exactly what
Well,
I
let's go
saw
check
in the
it.
guy tonight. What do you think they were?
Just because I can't explain it doesn't mean I'm gonna believe
Ha!
they were UFOs.
Didn't you say that aircrafts couldn't fly like that?
Correct. All right, get out of my car. You're going to walk in. I think it gives you a lot of information about what happened to the colonel.
All she's been doing is knocking down his theory. She hasn't provided one good theory. Why do we have her around?
There
What?
you go. Releasing. Didn't they say release the red cage or something, or open the red cage?
Yeah. Assume fallback position. Redbird. We're opening the cage. Which I'm assuming they had him in prison then.
Mrs. Budhouse,
She's crying?
are you okay?
Come inside.
He committed suicide.
He died.
I hope not. That's not him? That's him. Okay.
That's not him.
Well, initially, I thought she meant like that physically that wasn't him.
Oh.
That's what I thought she meant. Like, they gave him a stunt double. You know? Because I've seen that. I've seen it in a different movie. It was, oh my God, there's a movie where some woman lost her child and she couldn't find him, and then the government replaced it with some random kid.
I thought that was a real story.
It's a true story.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a movie on that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what's her name? She did, she was the first person to play Tomb Raider.
Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, Angelina Jolie. She's in that movie. And she did a great job in it.
I'd be down to watch that movie. That sounds like a great movie.
It's a really good movie. But that's what I thought. I was thinking what happened to her is what they did here. They switched out the people or something.
That'd be evil.
That would be evil. So what do you think, Gerard, so far? Liking it?
So far, it's entertaining.
I like it.
I need to see how the military is gonna act in this. Like, you know,
How it ends. How they
Exactly.
Yeah.
48.
And the names of your kids.
Josh and Leslie. They're right there.
Actually, that was Brittany.
your wedding anniversary.
Anita. I can't remember.
Oh, this is heartbreaking.
She's been through a lot. Oh my God, it's killing me.
Terrified. That's like a stranger to her.
Are we gonna leave her behind?
To me.
There are types of amnesia
This
that...
is not amnesia. I think it's something far more deliberate and insidious.
All I'm saying is that the science or medical technology to do what you are suggesting...
Listen to me, Scully. They can do this. That man, he should have known the answer to the question. Just wasn't in his head anymore.
Yikes.
I understand her purpose. By the way, didn't she witness the UFO thing in the first episode?
Mm-hmm.
And she's still saying no to things?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I would have done the exact same thing. I would have just left her there. I would have left her.
And this is how...
There.
That's how I last
Big
for my
time.
father. Joking, I see my father all the time.
Oh, man. Did we tell him about the landmines and junk? Hey!
You guys did. In the
Great.
diner. You guys definitely did. No worries.
The season's over.
Series is over. You mean?
Boom. Hey, listen.
He'll first step on it, then he'll sing John Denver.
Oh,
Dude,
from that.
Scully was stepping in and not believe it was a landmine.
What's this unidentified object? It's not alien.
I mean, it could have been a Twinkie.
I heard it click. I thought it was a bear trap.
Airbase security. Yep.
Why would you drop the gun? Oh my God, she's such a...
I don't think I can do that.
I think you can. Or I'm gonna have every newspaper in America out here writing about your experimental aircraft.
Oof.
You know what?
the big
Respectable. I respect it.
I was expecting
Are
her
they
to blow
gonna
the back of the air.
do what is it called? Autonomy? What?
Lobotomy.
Lobotomy?
Lobotomy. There.
I don't think they can do that. He's an FBI agent.
Man, he's relaxed. If his blood pressure is 120 over 50,
Yeah. I'm jealous. Not even sleeping. Do I get that?
Did they put another window on the car?
I just want to say, Everything you've seen here is equal to the protection we give it. It's you who have acted in.
Bang!
Not if people are going missing, homie. His wife reported a kidnapping.
So much for a partner.
See, but I'm thinking, wouldn't there be some type of collaboration with the military and the FBI to let them know in a way that back off because this is what we're doing?
I would assume it would be the CIA, and the CIA would come down on the FBI.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
This guy again.
I'm your father.
Mr. Mulder, they've been here for a long, long time.
Which was proven.
They live in the ocean. That was good. I like that episode.
I thought we were gonna see more.
Who is this guy?
That guy he can't be. I thought at first that he may be some politician, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think he would have recognized him had he been a politician.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely not a politician, but definitely somebody in power.
Maybe a black site director?
Or maybe in a sense of like, just like with that movie that we saw recently, just someone with influence, money.
Oh, yeah,
Has his own thing
could
to go
be
about it, you know?
It could be, but I don't know. It could be. I don't think it's. At first, I thought it might be some type of security strong arm guy, who give warning and take care of you. But he didn't come out. He just didn't come out.
He said
he could have heard him right here.
But he asked, "What's your interest?" And he said, "The truth." So it's more in the sense of either he's not working for any of. I don't think he might be working for any of the agencies, the ABC agencies at all.
Well, we don't know that.
I feel like I don't know.
Well,
my theory might not be.
He definitely is in the know because he knows. Him just saying that they've been here for a long time, that means he's knows.
In the know. Yeah,
he's in the know of something.
He got connections for sure.
He has connections.
He definitely has connections, but I just don't think it's more in the sense because I feel like with those agencies, I feel like there's restrictions behind that. So at that point, if it's something that he's able to act freely in his will, and especially for someone that they're keeping an eye on and he's communicating with freely, at that point I feel like he has some connections in a way that he's able to move without getting noticed.
I wonder if this show spawned tons of conspiracy theories that people were believing.
Probably.
Now the government knows something. They're hiding it, whatever. We knew it, whatever. And I can imagine how people back then were like, that could be real. Mm-hmm. That's happening. You know what I mean? Like, that's all bullshit.
Yeah.
This show doing it. And I mean, I can see that. I can see how people were thinking, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
It'd be funny as if there's like stuff that's coming out about this show about how there's like a military installation that was making sure it wasn't too alike to what's actually happening or anything like that. Like
they needed to get approved.
Like Lenny, what's his name? Oh my God, Lenny Montana for like The Godfather, like making sure it's not too much, too realistic.
Yeah, you gotta keep it.
Keep it kosher, away from The Godfather. Yeah.
Like deep down inside, we're not aware of, but the castle at Walt Disney is actually a spaceship launcher.
I cannot comment on this. I can neither
like
confirm nor deny anything.
I like what this show does in terms of it being sci-fi. Like the little bit of sci-fi we get is very little.
How old is it?
This came out. This is 93. This show started in 93.
A little bit before Babylon 5.
So I was in my 20s when this came out.
I wasn't born.
Yeah, it was before Babylon 5, if I'm not mistaken, right?
My siblings were still swimming. Actually, no, one sibling came out.
But the thing is that I like the way they're handling it, because it's subtle, but it also keeps you interested. Like usually you at the end of your chair, you're at the edge of your seat, and what I like about it is that how people like here in America, at least I can say that there's an obsession with real crime stories. Like people love real crime
Law and
stories and investigations, like Law and Order, stuff like that, right? So, and even probably FBI files, stuff like this. And I can see how this was probably popular because of that fact. Even though it's not crime, it's still like a mystery. You know, we're trying to solve a mystery that may or may not be a crime. You know, investigative rights, you know? So I like that. But I also like that it's not typical. Like right now, it would have been easy to say those were UFOs.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was more like UFOs, military airplanes or military aircraft created with UFO technology.
Yeah.
You know? And the people driving it are like, they're getting hurt, they're getting burned, they're getting all that stuff. Like, I liked how that all comes together, and it makes it like, wow, that's a better story than just giving you aliens waving at you.
And that's it.
Like, your typical type of story.
Yeah.
It gives you like information to both sides to where you could be like, yeah, that was UFO technology, or that
that's
wasn't.
new technology.
Which is where you have Scully, her part comes in.
Yeah.
No, she's just
denying everything.
She's a
She sees something, she's like, those are light, pretty.
listen. They made her blonde for a reason, okay? Because she is one dumb.
Dude, we could put her in front of the lens, and she's like, "Yeah, no, I don't believe that. That's not true. It's not that's not
I don't believe in aliens.
I don't believe in aliens." Well, that was. How do you feel? Do you like it?
I like like you mentioned, what ended up catching my interest was not much more in the sense of like, here you go, that's an alien, and that's what we're gonna do. No, it's more in the fact of like, I can't confirm or deny the concept. We have something that we're working on, but it's not something more in the fact that it's extra life particular. So I like the fact that it was more in the sense of like a half spoonful. I like it wasn't a spoonful. That's what I like.
You're not. They're not holding your hand.
Correct. It's more in the sense of leaving your imagination to the concept,
and they give you just enough information
to stay on,
to figure out what's going on.
Exactly.
And then the story takes a bit of a turn.
Yep.
Because now, who is this guy? Right? Who is this guy? Why is Mulder still alive if it's that bit of a problem? That much of a problem?
Are these X-Files gonna get more dangerous from what they just saw, or Like, it's intriguing.
I feel like in real life, had Mulder been doing what he's doing, they would have taken his ass out.
Oh, 100%.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, because the TV show,
they could have just said, at that point, they could have just filed his death as an accidental thing for
trespassing
in an unauthorized field.
Yeah. Like he stepped on a landmine, or they didn't know what he was, so they fired for a trespasser, believing it to be an enemy spy.
Yep.
Like they
could have covered this up in so many ways.
So many ways.
So many ways.
But I found it heartbreaking with the wife, though. The wife who was
that was
her husband. She had the kids, and she
her fear.
She was still frightened.
Yeah,
she was still frightened. And it makes you think like,
she just had no choice.
Which
had to accept it.
They helped her. There was no help at all.
Yeah.
No one helped her. She's still stuck in that situation.
Yeah. Which in that you kind of see the parallel foreshadowing with the other wife that had the fly fishing guy.
Yeah, no,
because she's totally like.
Yeah, but it could be one of those things where listen, be quiet. You don't have to worry about mortgage. You don't have to worry about eating. Your medical, your husband's medical. Income. We got you. Plus, here is a monthly
income.
Well, that's kind of what she said when she said, like, they take care of his therapy and his treatments. I'm just happy to have my husband back. Which honestly was a jab to that other lady.
Yeah.
Could you imagine saying that in front of a widow? Oh, I'm so glad I'm married.
I'm like other people who can't find their man.
Right?
That was a jab. That was kind of a jab.
And then afterwards, she follows that up by, you brought FBI to my house?
Yes, she did. She did say that.
You deserve to be single.
Well,
this is why your husband doesn't love you, and he beat your kids.
This episode will be available on our Patreon for as little as $3 a month, along with the other episodes we've done, and any other show that we've done before in the past on this channel. You'll find the unedited version on our Patreon. The link is in the description below, guys. We also have merchandise where we sell hats and hoodies and shirts. Again, you'll find the description below. the script, the link in the description below. Guys, listen, we want to know your thoughts. When you saw this show, you know, what do you think when you first saw it? Because especially the first two episodes, like, it must have been mind blowing, you know, because this is nothing as typical as what was given back in the day. Dude, the 90s, the more I look in the 90s, there's a lot of sci-fi going on in the 90s. Like, it was like a golden age of sci-fi going on.
The more we watch the 90s, the more I miss the 90s. I'm not gonna lie, I've been thinking about getting a CRT TV and just getting a bunch of VHSs.
Okay, so coming from '02, so not in the age of the 90s era.
Don't make me feel old
From
now.
from what I can see in the outside perspective between, let's say, 70s, 80s, and 90s, I felt like, let's say, for example, in the 80s, I felt like the shows of sci-fi or stuff like that were probably in the idea of that's for little kids. Meanwhile, I could probably see that in the 90s, it has started finally catching some.
No, I disagree, because I think what it is that in the 80s, there were more sci-fi movies than shows. So,
Okay.
so Back to the Future, the Star Trek movies that came out, The Last Starfighter. There was quite a bunch of sci-fi, but there were movies. While in the 90s, we're talking about an explosion of TV shows.
What's the time frame in which you end up thinking of the concept of sci-fi being for like someone, a kid show or a kid thing itself?
Nowadays?
No, well, even in the 70s, there's some sci-fi stuff. Well, the thing is this. It all depends, because sci-fi has subgenres.
Correct.
In it, right? Like what we saw last week, the Flash Gordon, that's sci-fi, but it's not your typical sci-fi. That was.
I thought that would have been fantasy.
No, that's sci-fi.
Or
It's
science fantasy.
It's a mix of both.
Yeah.
But it's still there. Listen, you can't say that I wouldn't fall in the category of sci-fi. Like if I go to Netflix and I go in the sci-fi section and it pops up, I'll be like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So, but what Gerard's saying is what is
The time frame.
childish, considered kid stuff to what's considered adult stuff. I think that conversation ended back in the 50s with Forbidden Planet.
That's what I wanted to take a look into the time
because
frame
Forbidden
era
Planet was
itself.
like, that was a major sci-fi thing. Maybe before then, sci-fi was more for kids, story, whatever. And those kids grew up and said, "No, we want those. We want a
like
serious
we want to
story."
continue seeing that.
You know, like today, the Transformers, right?
Yep.
I grew up watching Transformers and G.I. Joe, and it was a kids show. But we grew up, and now the show is maturing with us. So you'll find some a little bit more hardcore Transformers. You'll find some hardcore. Not saying they're the best, but I'm saying
catching up to the era.
Catching up the era, and also we're maintaining your audience. At the same time, you got to capture a new audience
ones
as well
to continue. Yeah,
you know, so
You're capturing lightning in a bottle.
correct. So like right now, let's say like if Babylon 5 were to come out with a brand new show now, what would they have to do to capture today's audience? You know, and I think today's audience, for the most part, will probably alienate the old audience. Like, no, I don't want that happening to my Babylon 5. You know, no, that's your Babylon 5. This is my Babylon 5.
We need more colors.
You know, you know what I'm saying? So you have that challenge of trying to get that going. So, but a lot of it, I think, is the fact that you grew up with something, it'll be something else. Like, what show right now? You know what would be a good show? Let me give you an example for that. I think now, if Ben 10, 20 years from now, became an action movie or an action TV show, because you guys grew up with it, and now they've changed it into something more, you know, more adult-like, to keep up with the people who are following it, because they're following that same vein.
True.
You know, think about shows that you grew up with that 20 years from now they decide they're going to make it into more of an adult, mature theme.
Ben 10 would be fire. An adult Ben 10
would be fire, I think.
An actual
like actual emotional drama / like tragedy and action.
There's a lot to unpack there, so it could happen. So that's kind of what we grew up with. That show, we grew up with these shows, and then now they're taking this different spins to something more mature.
Yeah.
You know, so your question about sci-fi and what's kids and what I think it all depends, man. You know, and I don't think there's a time period. I don't think you can say, well, it started here in the 80s, when it could have started definitely a lot earlier. You know,
I would say now though is definitely more. There's a lot of sci-fi that is super geared towards kids, like a lot of it. So
yeah.
And there's not so much adult sci-fi as I would like. compared to the kids' sci-fi.
I think there's some. The thing is that we seem to be overwhelmed with so many channels.
Bad writing.
And
Sorry.
so,
Yeah.
maybe, like for example, and maybe not, because let's look at like Michael and I we watching
Silo.
We're watching Silo, right? And it's on Apple TV.
I haven't seen it.
And a lot of people don't want to watch it because it's on Apple TV. There's some people who had, I'm not giving Apple any money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that. I've seen that reaction many times when it comes to Apple. So people are not giving it a chance. But there are other shows, like if you go hunting in Netflix, you will find some good sci-fi in there, but you gotta dig. You gotta dig through all that garbage that they throw in your way.
That's why I'm saying it seems like it's more geared towards kids nowadays, because a lot of what they pump out is low quality writing with like a feel good story that they gear towards fairy tales.
It doesn't help also, like, for example, like the movies that we've been seeing nowadays itself, it's just been rewriting of remakes of it's like really there's no original writing anymore.
The last sci-fi movie that I remember being geared towards adults that was good was Dune 2. But it also could be because he mentioned Dune 2 earlier that I'm remembering.
I just finally saw that, guys.
HBO had a show called Raised by Wolves, which was sci-fi, which was an amazing sci-fi, but no one was watching it. Mm-hmm. You know, very few people watched it. Ridley Scott. That was great.
I don't know. Me personally, I liked it, but I don't know. Ridley Scott lately has been getting really lazy with his directing. Like, I get that he's been doing it for a long time, but it feels lazily done. And it's been kind of eating away from me, and that's why I don't watch a lot of Ridley Scott movies anymore. Like, I wanted to see the Napoleon movie, but I saw a bit of it, and I turned it off.
I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
I wanted to like it, and I was like,
Yeah, you're a history nerd.
For sure. I do. I like historic stuff. I do.
You definitely are.
But I was like, that's awful what was going on here. You know? But again, sci-fi, I think has a hardcore audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm gonna say that just in case Warhammer does come out.
Oh, that would
you're gonna see some
fire.
Really. If they treat it, and again, it's Cavill doing it. If they treat it the way the books that I'm reading are like. We're gonna be blown away.
I told you, bro. I wanted you to get into this for so long.
No, but I'm saying,
especially this area, because that's what there was an interview that Cavill had where he literally said if he does a TV series, it's gonna be about that era, because that's the best era to do 40.
And that's the way the Horus Heresy stuff.
Yeah.
We gotta play that for me. To get into the lore, so I want to play it.
Well, I have the RPG stuff, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Let's get back.
But anyway, guys, let us know. You guys, do you guys agree with what we're saying here? Like, do you think that sci-fi lately has gotten poor writing? You know, the majority of the sci-fi nowadays. I mean, I can point out at least 3 shows that came out in the 2000s. And I mean, when I say 2000, I mean everything that's not 19 anything.
I can think of 2.
So I can think of what you guys saw at the beginning of at least the movies of Battlestar Galactica, which was, I think that was great.
I thought that was the end of 90s.
I like the remake better.
I thought that was the end of the 90s.
No, that's 2000s.
Oh, okay. So I could think of 3 things.
2003.
Okay, so I could think of 3 things.
Battlestar Galactica is one of them.
Yeah.
The Expanse, which I love. I haven't seen the last season. We're going to catch up on that at some point. The Expanse, and now currently Silo. And there's other things. We got in the comment section people saying that we should watch Severance. You know, because now all sci-fi have to be aliens and ships.
No, actually,
in space.
4 things. I can think of 4 things that I really like. That's sci-fi. That's
what's
new
the
age.
4 things?
Battlestar Galactica, Dune. There was an Adam Sandler Netflix movie.
You see it? I haven't seen it yet.
It was fantastic.
It was really good?
It was really, really good.
No one's spoken about it. No one ever brought it up.
It's a bit of a slow burn. You have to really pay attention to it to understand it, but it's a really good dramatic sci-fi.
It reminds me of Moon. It looks like Moon to me.
You'd like it.
I'm
You'd definitely
sure I would.
like it. And then the 4th thing was that sci-fi channel on YouTube with that mini series that we watched.
Oh, that's great.
That was fire.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, on YouTube,
I can't remember.
There's
the
a
name
channel
right now.
called Dust.
Dust. That's what it was.
And
yes.
they're constantly putting together like shorts or limited series runs or
What ifs?
It's just so good. It's just really, really good. I highly recommend. I would do more reaction out of Dust but no one seems to watch Dust. I don't know why people ain't watching Dust.
I
It's
don't
so
know.
good. Well, anyway,
Shout out to Dust.
let us know, guys. We want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway, guys, listen. Again, let us know what you thought about the show when you first saw it. You know, if you agree with anything we said, we want to know your thoughts, guys. We really appreciate that. Anyway, guys, listen. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are Our Nights. I'm Ray.
I'm Julian.
And I'm Gerard.
Guys, we'll see you soon.
Peace.
Take care.